claro que não pode. E aí, ele criou o cara.
If you want more videos from our channel in the future, then all you have to do is hit the red subscribe button right now. Hey there guys, what's up, and happy to have you back here on our channel. Sports are based on fair play. However, for each honest way to succeed, there are dozens of ways to cheat. Even though cheating in sports is considered a very huge deal and it can cost the athlete his or her career, there are still many athletes who are willing to take this risk. Number 6. Hansi Cronje. Talking about athletes who were caught cheating, how can we not mention Hansi Cronje? Hansi Cronje was a huge name in South Africa as the captain of their national team and one of the best batsmen in the sport. Unfortunately though, his reputation was tarnished in 1999 when he was recorded offering to fix matches in return for money. After the recording, which also implicated 3 other players in the mix, Cronje was banned from playing cricket for life. Despite this, however, he was still voted the 11th greatest South African in 2001. He had to go through many court hearings for his match fixings. He was first accused by India of fixing the ODIs between India and South Africa, and sadly, these allegations were proven true, but even still, Cronje didn't confess until when he called the South African board's managing director, Ali Bucker, at 3 a.m. in the morning and admitted that he indeed had been dishonest over his activities in India. Cronje acknowledges receiving between $10,000 to $15,000 for providing information and forecasts, but not match fixing during the one-day series in India. Unfortunately though, this wasn't the only time he had done this, as it was discovered that he had taken money for a lot of other games as well.
And did he tell you how much money you would get as a result of this?
25,000 euros, that was the amount I can remember.
Number 5. Diego Maradona. If you're a soccer fan, you must have heard of the great Diego Maradona's hand of God. Diego Maradona is considered one of the greatest players of all time. He is known for his ability to control the ball and create unpredictable scoring opportunities for himself and his teammates. He is the person responsible for many of the championships won by Italy, Argentina, and Spain during the 1980s. He joined football as a teenager at the age of 14, and he was without a doubt the best player of his time. He appeared in numerous championships, including the World Cup, Mexico League, Argentine League, and more. You can get the idea of the fame of this great player just by the fact that even when he blatantly cheated, it became an iconic moment in the history of sports. This moment is still known by many as the Hand of God. This is about the quarterfinal game of the 1986 World Cup when Maradona scored the last 2 winning goals for Argentina, the first of which will forever live on in infamy. Rather than heading a swooping cross into the goal, he actually reached his hand up and tapped it in. Even though this is considered a foul and a cheating tactic in football, Maradona's foul is still considered as one of the most famous goals in soccer history. Still, the player was caught cheating in a live game and had to face the consequences. It just goes to show you that no matter how famous or rich you are, cheating will always get you into trouble. Number 4. Marty McSorley. Marty McSorley is a former Canadian professional hockey player who played in the National Hockey League for 17 years. He is one of the most amazing hockey players of his time. He was the only Canadian player who knew how to play both defense and forward position at that time. Apart from hockey, Marty McSorley is also one of the best actors of his time. Leaving that all aside, the great hockey player is also famous for pulling off a cheating stunt. When Marty McSorley got caught cheating in the 1993 Stanley Cup Finals, he was shocked when the opposing team reported him to the ref. The Los Angeles Kings were in the lead against the Montreal Canadiens by 1-0 in Game 2. The Kings led 2-1 with just a few minutes left in the game, but then something crazy happened. The Canadiens captain Guy Carbonneau told his head coach to check the curve on the stick of Kings' defenseman Marty McSorley. When the referee discovered the stick was illegally curved, McSorley was given a 2-minute penalty. The Canadians then just scored 50 seconds into overtime and won the next 3 games, claiming the Stanley Cup.
The lofty Canadiens challenged the curve in Marty McSorley's stick.
Number 3, Lance Armstrong. It's impossible to write a list about cheating sports stars and not start with Lance Armstrong. He was the superstar of cycling, having overcome cancer to win an unprecedented 7 Tour de France titles, all while consistently denying that he had doped. He was an American hero, but he was in for a big fall. In 2012, the USADA came to the conclusion that Armstrong had indeed used performance-enhancing drugs throughout his entire career. The upshot was Armstrong being stripped of all 7 of his Tour de France wins, plus he also received a lifetime ban. Any doubts about his guilt were expelled when he famously confessed on Oprah.
Yes or no? Did you ever take banned substances to enhance your cycling performance?
Yes.
Seems like Armstrong's talents were only because of his drugs. This fraud made his fans furious, and they should be, because this was nothing less than a betrayal. You can't do the sport and your fans dirty like that, bro.
If you take me back to 1995, when it was completely and totally pervasive, I'd probably do it again.
Number 2, Joe Niekro. One of the more hilarious incidents of cheating came courtesy of the great baseball player Joe Niekro. In 1987, Niekro was ejected from a game for carrying sandpaper and an emery board to scuff baseballs. In a desperate attempt to dump the evidence, Niekro pulled the emery board out of his back pocket and quickly flicked it out of sight. However, one of the umpires witnessed Niekro's cover-up attempt and tossed him straight out of the game. Niekro was suspended for 10 games and he retired the next year. In one way, this game was the end of his career as an athlete. Joe Niekro's baseball incident was more hilarious than it seems. Even though he was guilty of cheating, his attempts to hide his crime was hysterical. We think that if he had owned up to his mistake and faced it, he might not have had to get away from his career. He gave so many great games and memories that we can never forget. But after all, one mistake can erase all your good efforts. It's a fact that if he wouldn't have had to cheat, he might have gone down as the best baseball player in history.
Do a search like this, quite like this before.
Number 1, Mike Tyson. Every boxing fan knows of the infamous Mike Tyson ear bite. Whether you consider the incident cheating or just an inexcusable act of anger, Tyson's biting of Evander Holyfield's ear during a fight is one of the most bizarre events in the history of boxing. Tyson was disqualified for the bite, and Holyfield was named the victor of the fight. It will forever be remembered as the most egregious cheating moment in sports history. If you know boxing, you must know that Mike Tyson was a player impossible to beat. He was called Iron Mike and Dynamite Kid at the beginning of his career, and later on was titled as the baddest man on the planet. A guy like him was never expected to break the rules. There are arguments that maybe he didn't do it deliberately and was just a reaction of his rage. But whatever the reason was, he was aware that this is counted as cheating and he still went through with it, so he had to face the consequences. So what do you guys think? Do you think some players should be given a second chance of life or deserve their permanent ban? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, while also hitting the like button, subscribing to our channel, and hitting that bell icon to catch up on more awesome videos like this one in the future. Also, do yourself a favor and watch the 2 videos that are already on your screen right now, as they're just as good as this one. And with that, I'll be seeing you guys in the next video.